Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon, and this is a channel dedicated to narcissistic abuse, the effects of it, and the recovery from it. In today's video, I'd like to talk about the cycle of abuse. For those of you that don't know, the cycle of abuse is basically an unending loop of the same four things happening in your relationship. If you are in a narcissistic relationship, you will always be in one of these four places. So I'm going to start with the first one, which is the tension building. This is when you're walking on eggshells. You know something's wrong, but your partner denies that there's something wrong. You know, I would come right out and ask my husband, "Are you all right? You don't seem yourself." He would always deny it, but he would be cold, not friendly, like there was something off, but he just wouldn't admit it. And it almost started to make me feel crazy. Like, am I imagining this? But I knew I wasn't. The incident would always happen. And that is the next step. That's the verbal, emotional, or physical abuse is going to happen. So it could be a silent treatment, it could be arguing, threats, intimidation, or actual physical assault. This is when the blow up happens. And after the blow up, we go on to the third step, which is reconciliation. So this is going to be when the abuser ends the silent treatment, is apologetic but you're unlikely to get a real apology from a narcissist, but they might actually say something along the lines of, "You know what, I was just really stressed out, work is really tough," or maybe, "You know, if you hadn't said what you said, everything would have been fine. I just couldn't handle it that night after what happened at work." You know, they have something that they're blaming that isn't themselves. Then, the last one is the calm, or the honeymoon phase. And that's when the incident is forgotten, things are good, you're feeling good, you feel like, you know what, maybe they've really changed. Or, in my case, I would often think, oh, back to my husband. This is the man that I married. But this was before I realized that the man I married, when it was the good part, the honeymoon phase, that was actually the fake persona that my husband lured me in with. And this is what happens in a narcissistic relationship. The person you see at the beginning of the relationship is not a real person. It's the persona that they're using to lure you in. So whenever I would be in the honeymoon phase, that's when I would think I was with my husband. But reality is, it was the other three that were actually my husband. So these are the four things that are going to happen over and over when you're in a narcissistic relationship: tension building, incident, reconciliation, honeymoon phase. You'll always be in one of these places. Now, the thing is, if you're with a narcissist, and this is so difficult to comprehend and believe, but they are never going to change. It is up to you to recognize the situation for what it is. When I first was told about this cycle of abuse, my pastor actually told me that he thought that this is what was happening in my relationship. And I was polite to him and took his little pamphlet and brought it home, but I didn't believe it was true. I thought, he must really be misjudging my relationship, because I don't think this is it at all. But as time went on, I started to recognize that this is exactly what my relationship is. And it's a really difficult thing, because you want to believe that the honeymoon phase is what you can attain permanently. But the realistic thing you need to accept is that if you're in a narcissistic relationship, you're in an abusive relationship. And really, the only option that you have is to strengthen yourself and get out. I know that's not an easy thing. Even myself right now, I'm separated from my husband, but we're not divorced. I'm afraid to divorce him. So I'm very much in recovery as I make these videos. But, you know, I'm hoping to help myself and maybe help somebody else gain knowledge from the situation that they're in. So, if you like this video, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. I'm going to try to make a video every day, or at least most days. And if you'd like my contact information, it is in the link below. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a good day, night, whenever you're watching this, and I will see you in the next video.